Hello and welcome to 10 aspects of character design. The first aspect we're going to cover is choosing your environment. What we mean by environment is the actual area, the actual space, the actual universe that your character will be in. Because if you're in a science fiction landscape, your character is going to be molded differently. If you're in fantasy, if you're in a space opera, if you're in modern fantasy, if you're in cyberpunk, obviously all these environments are going to contribute to the inputs and outputs of your character. Now, that's why I like getting the environment first before developing a character, because then the character will make more sense in each environment. Another thing I just want to cover is why the environment is so important, and so important to get that first. Now, maybe with next week's episode, you may switch those every once in a while on whether you want a male or female character, or if you want an environment first. I think those two are kind of the only interchangeable ones. But why I suggest the environment first is because I think everything else comes out of that. A lot of people, if you're not a product of your environment, you're influenced by it. So it has to logically make sense as you continue on developing the character, but having a sense of what environment. You don't have to have it completely locked down, completely flushed out, know exactly what you want. But just say, for example, if you want a character to be in the alien universe, it automatically puts you in the future, puts you in a certain time zone, puts you within that realm, that lore. So creating something like that of your own, or writing something in an existing lore category is also good. But that's why it's important, because it kind of gets you in the mind frame of how to develop the rest of the character. 3 tips on how to best use your environment. Tip number 1, do you want your character to be protected by the environment or exposed to it? And I think this is another great way to start thinking about how you're developing this character. So in this environment, do they suffer? Are they affected by, or are they above what else is happening in the environment? Because that's also going to shape the way they think. It's going to shape the way they act. It's going to shape the way they're motivated. Tip number 2, is this environment ever changing, or is it static? Is this, say, Star Trek, really far future, where the environment really doesn't change as much? Yeah, the ships may change, but it's kind of locked in on where they're at in space and time. Or is it something that's continuously moving? Is it discovery? Let's go back to the Star Trek. Take Enterprise, when they're going out for the first time. Now that's an ever-changing environment. That's what I mean by that. Every chapter you're writing, every sentence you're writing could change, could discover, could change the dynamic completely. Or is it something where the dynamic is shifting, but the environment is not changing? Like, they're Klingons, and it's not really changing, it's just the players are moving around, if you know what I mean. The environment isn't changing, the players are. In tip number 3, we're going to talk about, now, is the main character or the group of protagonists that are at the forefront of your story trying to change the environment? Now, this is very important to kind of get around that. Are they trying to shift the way their environment is? I.e., are they trying to do a revolution? Are they trying to put down terrorists? Are they trying to do this? In order to know which kind of way they're going to go. Once again, answering all 3 of these is very important to you get the mind state around what type of character you want to have. Now, you can play around with it slightly, but knowing these 3 environmental tips moving forward with a character will really help you out and will really help you move forward in the future. It's your boy, Big Doula, here at the Lorekings. Watch, like, comment, subscribe. 10 aspects of character creation will be coming to you live every Tuesday. Peace.
Hello, and welcome to the Lorekings. Today we're going to discuss on How Do I Become a Writer series, the protagonist. First you have to start with a code or a mission. And I think starting with either a code or a mission will allow